So I said I was going to do this video talking a little bit about the concept of the new earth, the concept of the age of Aquarius. When we think about the cycles that planet Earth goes through, what are we expecting from all of these different things? Is it kind of just a load of crap? Again, I want to explain it from the best sort of lens of my own understanding and, assimilation of knowledge that I've gathered throughout my lifetime. Now, in terms of the new earth or creating a new earth, it's not like the earth is going to be different in the sense of like it's a totally different earth, okay? It's all about vibration, and it's about the collective consciousness, or the point that we are at with our collective consciousness between both our human family. So when you think of human beings and their separation around the planet, and for so many thousands of years, tens of thousands of years, to some degree, hundreds of thousands of years, human beings have been very divided, separate. Our consciousness has been very isolated to, of course, our own, individual consciousness that resides within our, our body, that we, the lens in which we see the world. Then there are sort of mini consciousnesses within family groups, tribes, societies, countries, all of these religions, different ideologies. And then there is the ability within a species to have a very unified collective consciousness. So you can think of this as even, the tree species, how so many trees are interconnected and work collaboratively together through their root systems, okay? That would be an example of a very, very peaceful, dynamic, and integrated collective consciousness within that vegetable kingdom, okay? So in the energy, or as we raise our vibration here on planet Earth, human beings specifically will become more telepathic, will be able to transfer information to each other more readily. This comes when the distortion, again, everything is thought form. So when our thoughts are distorted through a lens of jealousy, manipulation, any kind of greed, selfishness, things that distort the transference of truth, will prevent telepathic communication. And again, when we think of telepathy, it is that instant transference of absolute truth. So you have to be calibrating at a level in terms of your thought forms to be able to transfer truth. Because again, if there's any distortion in the message that you're sending, which means if there's any ulterior motives or hidden elements of it, telepathy really doesn't function at that level. So once we have cleared our auric field, once we have really raised our vibration, then again, communication, it changes, okay, at the higher levels of vibration. And the reason it changes is that the cumbersomeness or the slowness of the spoken word basically bogs down the system at the higher levels, okay? So if you can think of it, it takes a lot of energy and effort to string together a sentence and to have these ways of communicating. If we can just immediately transfer our thoughts to another human being or life form, it's instantaneous, and there's this dual knowing, and the information is that immediate transfer. So it also becomes a lot more peaceful in terms of the fact that, again, there's no ulterior motives. It's just a very quick semblance of information transfer, and then you move on to the next aspect of creation. So that's going to be an element that is a manifestation. It is just what happens at that level, but it's something that we will see with increasing frequency here on planet Earth as we raise that collective vibration. And again, for some individuals, this idea of telepathy and communicating with others through energy can seem like a scary concept, because again, it's like third dimensional consciousness that we're in. we still feel, or some individuals still feel that they need to have their cards hidden to be able to move more accurately towards abundance. It's a strange principle, because again, truly abundance is for all and it's unlimited in terms of the universe. So this scarcity concept that human beings have adapted over time is absolutely incorrect, but it is what holds the distortion at a lower vibratory field. And the reason why is because it's felt through the thought forms and through our understanding of the external world that having, you know, the ace in the hole, or having a good hand, a good, you know, keep your cards close to you kind of mentality, that it will elevate us in the world and it will move us higher along the path in terms of that sort of Darwinistic approach, you know, eat or be eaten, right? So as we move into a higher vibrational existence, again, it's based on cooperation, compassion, collaboration. We don't need to hide our cards because everybody wants what's best for everybody else. It's like there is this universal understanding that abundance is unlimited and that abundance is pervasive. It is the natural state of the universe to be ever expanding, ever creating, and to be aligning with the desires of each individual. And again, that calibration also has to move towards the truth in terms of the vibratory scale, okay? So you cannot desire to manifest anything negative for others. And if anything within your desired manifestation calibrates to somehow disturb another, take from another, prevent another's success, then again, it will not manifest quickly. It's got quite a latent ability of manifestation. Now, sometimes these things can manifest, of course, because our thought forms are the vehicle to out manifestation, but they come with karmic consequences. So those karmic consequences, you know, are not ideal. Like they're not the best way to maneuver through your life. So as we move into that energy of a new earth, okay, and that's just a new way of being, a new way of experiencing this experiential beingness of being in a body, having an environment, because again, mind is just thoughts, mind is just thinking thoughts, and we need to permeate some sort of a vehicle, some sort of a body to experience experiential things, okay? So that's part of being in this vehicle. This is not the only vehicle that you can reside in. Obviously, if you weren't on Earth, there's multiple, you know, infinite forms that can be created out there in the universe at large and the other universes that exist, okay? But keep in mind that it is, as much as it's fun to learn about and to imagine all of the other ways of being that are not, you know, immediately accessible for us here on planet Earth, we still have to focus on this lifetime, okay? And moving ourselves into that position of the ascension or the ascending towards a higher vibrational beingness is going to have a different experience in terms of the way that you feel. So there'll be a lightness, there'll be an expansion. You will start to register energy very acutely. So, and it's unmistakable. Like you can't not know it. You will feel the energy of other people. You'll feel the energy of the planet. You'll feel the energy of the plant life. You'll feel the energy of animals. You'll be able to have a greater communication with the other realms in terms of the biosphere of this planet. And that is also part of dispelling or really dissolving distortions. Because again, you have to understand that due to the fact that, you know, human beings have hunted animals for, you know, however long, that there has been this element through the way our body systems are designed, right? That we have to eat to nourish our bodies, that we, you know, especially in the animal kingdoms, okay? So that those lower centers, when we think of the animal kingdom, we kind of fit into that as well, because we eat other life forms to fill ourselves. But as we become more enlightened, something that I've integrated along my path is being as close to vegetarian vegan as I can possibly be. It works for me. I find quite a higher level of intelligence, able to problem solve, just in terms of understanding the synthesis of information. I just do much better with a plant-based diet. Now, again, I feel that there's a reason or a correlation for that. The reason being is I'm taking the energy directly from the sun. So the intelligent energy of the sun is being fractured or basically absorbed by the minerals and the different building blocks here on Earth. And depending on what kind of ray that is absorbed by those minerals, you'll see an out manifestation or a growth of a certain plant species, okay? Vegetables are different colors, fruits are different colors. So again, it's kind of encapsulating that light frequency manifesting. Again, we can see it through the color spectrum with what we can perceive. But again, really making sure that you're eating a balance of all of the colors of the rainbow. The colors also mean that different minerals are going to be picked up, okay? Different mineral components are being picked up to create whatever vegetation that you're eating. So that again will give you a breadth of different elements to be the foundational building blocks and infrastructure of your human suit, okay? Now, with the energy of creating a new earth, and why do we talk about the new earth? What is the new earth? It is essentially a different way of being. It's turning human consciousness towards a very gentle, collaborative, unified output here. But to do that, to get to that point where we can usher in this, whether they call it the age of Aquarius, this transition, this cycling period, it is an end of times, okay? There is definitely an end of times that is happening. What it is the end of is a certain way of thinking, an ideological system that is broken, that needs to have its death. It's like an ego death of the entire consciousness of the planet in terms of the human species, because the animal kingdom is already unified. It already works well. It already understands. It doesn't take more than it needs. It is within its equilibrium in the biosphere. Now, the only disruptive element to planet Earth would be really the human element. So it's the human beings here, the different tribes, the different cultures that need to go through the process of self-unification.